Bringing Mark Preston back in Mark Preston and Washington Post Ryan Lizza and David Swerdley. Okay, as we see Lady Gaga up on the screen, do we want to continue on or do we want to listen to Lady Gaga?
Oh, let's listen into Lady Gaga.
He's a little jealous. She's
Lady Gaga, North Carolina.
North Carolina, can you hear me? We want you to stand up. Be a part of history. What I'm asking you is to be in this moment, right now, with us, and fight for your future and the future of our children. You know, it's so amazing because no matter how absurd and mean he became, she smiled bravely. And she continued on. I almost feel like I could do her smile. She kept going, and she kept fighting for women's rights. She kept fighting for the care of our children. She kept fighting for those who are in need. And the truth is that Hillary Clinton has done this for her entire career. And now, when I say career, what I mean is she didn't just wake up one morning and decide she wanted to be president. Right? She's had a career in politics that spans decades of experience, education, leadership, and wisdom. She stands before us today proud, like a lady. She's ready to be president. And by the way, I know
for the world to be safe, America needs
that it is important for this message too to be spread that we do not need to hate his followers.
Okay, so dueling rallies there. You have Lady Gaga on the right of your screen. She's in North Carolina. And you have Mike Pence there on the left of your screen. He is in Michigan this evening. And boy, this is going to go on all night into the wee hours because we are getting down to the final hours of this campaign. We had Donald Trump is going to come up in Grand Rapids in just a moment. But we had the first votes cast. And my panel, I agree with you, Hillary Rosen. It feels like a moment, like this is finally going to be over very soon. So let's talk until we see Donald Trump come up, until we dip back into this. I want to bring in my panel and also bring in Mark Preston, Ryan Lizza, and David Swerdley. Mark, I'm going to ask you first. The next president of the United States will be elected today. Can you believe it?
No, and I'll say this, whoever wins tomorrow and is going to have a very difficult time coming here to Washington and getting things done, whether it's Hillary Clinton and her battles with Republicans on Capitol Hill.
Whoever wins today, Mark.
What's that now?
Whoever wins today.
Whoever wins today, right. Dixville Notch has voted, forgive me. Right, but I'll tell you this, you know, even if Donald Trump wins and he comes to Washington, he doesn't get along with Republicans either. I just think that there needs to be an incredible amount of healing that needs to happen, and it's going to take some time for that to happen, not only here in Washington, but across the nation. And I do think that there's going to be an incredible amount of frustration that Washington is getting nothing done because there is going to be a lot of partisanship, probably at levels we have never seen before.
Ryan, when we heard the votes being counted and read back in Dixville Notch, at first when we heard Clinton, because there are 8 voters there, right? When we heard Clinton 4, everyone went, "Oh no!"
Deadlock.
We want this to be over, but it actually turned out not to be a deadlock. It's Clinton 4, Trump 2, Johnson 1, and there was one write-in for Mitt Romney.
I know. I was thinking maybe Maria
Kevin Madden was
Kevin Madden was up there. But yeah, so it sounds like a never Trump Republican up in Dixville Notch. I will say you have to give Dixville Notch a little bit of credit. Whoever does PR for Dixville Notch, they should get some kind of an award.
Yeah, it is interesting. David Swerdlick, again, you know, as we watch these rallies, it's going to only become more intense. But at some point, you know, the rallies really don't make a difference. It really is about people getting out to the polls. And at a certain point, people have to go to sleep in order to be able to wake up to get to the voting booth tomorrow.
Yeah, it's at this point, Don, it really is in the hands of the voters. But I will echo what Hillary Rosen said. It does feel like a moment. Watching on the monitors, you have in Michigan, Mike Pence, in Raleigh, North Carolina, Lady Gaga, and then Dixville Notch, right? I don't think it's a sign of anything to come necessarily, but I did think it was interesting that there was a vote for Mitt Romney. Of course, he summers up there in New Hampshire. He's a New England guy, but you know, he was someone who bowed out of this race kind of early because it seemed at the time, before we were talking about Donald Trump, that Jeb Bush would be the heir apparent on the Republican side. And then Mitt Romney was the guy in March who came out and gave this full-throated denunciation of Donald Trump. So sort of interesting to me that one person up there, you know, marked a ballot for him right as we kick this off.
I think, though, Mark Preston is right, though, when he talks about what's going to happen tomorrow, which is Wednesday, but, you know, if you want to be specific about it. It's going to have to be a lot of healing regardless of who wins. Yes. And you know, it's concerning to me about people actually getting together, because there's been so much consternation and people have been fighting so much. Do you think that's actually possible, Maria Cardona?
I'm going to be optimistic and positive here. I do think that it's possible for a couple of reasons. People do look back at this year and a half with disgust and just, you know, exhaustion. And I think most people are ready to see something happen in Washington. And the other reason I think that we can see something positive here is that I believe Hillary Clinton is going to win. And let's look back at her tenure in the Senate. One of the very great things about her and what she did in the Senate is that she actually was able to work very well with Republicans. She was able to reach across party lines and vice versa because people knew that she was there ready to listen. She does look beyond partisanship. She looks beyond party. She wants to look at the solutions.
Yeah, but can the voter do that?
I think the voter can do that because, again, they looked at sort of the acrimony of what has happened in this election and how divisive it's been. And yes, there will be partisans on both sides that will be mad no matter who wins, mad at the other side that did win. But I think in general, people are going to take a look at this and say, this is our democracy. This is what we decided. Let's move forward to try to find solutions.
Listen, I hope you're right, but Mark Preston, I've got to say, this feels different. And this is my third election cycle here at CNN, and I've covered, you know, a number before. This feels different with the, you know, the rig system, the locker up, the media is biased, and all of that. I mean, I worry about that. Am I wrong to be worried about that?
No. You're right on. I mean, look, we've been spending a lot of time, Don, talking about the Republican Party up in flames right now and how they have to reconstitute, and, you know, will there be two parties, and has the grassroots taken their pitchforks, and are they going to run the establishment out of town? What's going to happen is that you're going to see, not to the same levels we've seen with Republicans, but we're going to see that with Democrats as well. Hillary Clinton doesn't push forward on a very progressive agenda, then you're going to see the likes of Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and other liberal Democrats wonder why they supported her. So you are going to see a fracturing among the party, not, again, to the level that we've seen with the Republican Party, but it is certainly going to happen in the Democratic Party. I do want to say one thing, though. If you look at your TV screen right now, Don,
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
right, there is just the imagery that we have all gone through over the past couple of days, whether it was David Chalian doing the map as Beyonce was dancing, or Lady Gaga, who is, I don't know what she's doing, that's her dance, as Mike Pence is, like fire and brimstone.
And she's wearing a pantsuit, by the way.
Right, yeah, like, by the way, that's a strange, I don't know, what, an interesting.
It's Lady Gaga, Mark.
She's supposed to be.
whatever.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's really
First
been.
you
This
put
is.
down the boss, now you go after Lady Gaga.
I know.
Mark,
No, I
Mark.
just say this has been an amazing day. It
Yeah.
really has. And
He is
his
coming
imagery
alive
is
right now with
amazing.
some of those hand gestures. Though.
Yeah.
I
So
think,
listen,
you know,
listen.
just to that
I've got
point,
to.
though, Don, is that Hillary Clinton has made her closing argument positive.
Yeah.
And I do think that says something about what kind of president she hopes
It
to
sets
be.
a tone.
I have to say that it's interesting to watch, and here we go. You're right. We're here, and we'll know by day's end, hopefully, who the next president of the United States will be, and let's hope that there is a kumbaya. Donald Trump is going to be speaking very shortly, but I have to say this: you have Lady Gaga up on stage, and we want to know what she's doing. So Lady Gaga will play us into the break, and we'll be back on the other side.